So welcome to today's pre-market watch list. We're going to be going over the top stocks to trade. We're going to be going over our stock selection process that we do every single day and our members do every single day on how we select the best stocks to watch and day trade for that day. What are going to be the big movers, the big momentum runners. So we're going to talk about that, our selection process using all the screeners, the price action context and everything. We're going to start with a market recap. We got earnings. There's some big earnings this happening this week that's already started. They got more coming up. One of the big ones coming Wednesday is Tesla. So that's going to be very, very interesting. So we got a lot going on right now. Mike saying good afternoon. Good afternoon to you as well. Hello to Robert. Robert Sinkovitz. Good to have you here. So let's start with our trading view part, and we're going to start with global indices overnight. S&P 500, still continuing on its trend right now, and it broke through the key is that it broke through this consolidation highs. So it was in this kind of consolidation for a little bit and is now broken through that, at least intra-week. So at this point, you pretty much have to assume that 33.22 and 33.84, 3,400 are going to be the next upside targets on that one there. There's definitely some positive news out of Europe. They passed a stimulus deal and everything like that. So very strong news out of Europe. All the stocks except for the Swiss index is up. Asia was all up. So lots going on right now. But right now, it looks like it's going to be a relatively bullish session for markets today, unless we get some sort of news or some earnings come out really on the bad side. Then that's going to be something of an issue. But right now, everything looks like it's kind of just chugging along. Tech still being the hot thing right now. So that covers that. So let's get into our screener on trading view here, and let's go with pre-market cap. And so it's got 4, and then we're going to go into Benzinga, and we're going to share what's going on with the pre-market watch list there, the gainers that they have. So IBIO, biotech stock, it's been quite an active stock. It had a big move and then kind of consolidated. Now it's pretty much broken through its prior resistance all-time highs. So right now, 765. What's pre-market volume on this one here? Pre-market volume is 6.9 million, so very, very strong. Opening gap is about 15%. So, okay, so let's go to Morning Madame. Chi Chen, good to see you as well. Lots of coming in now. So, okay, so if we have pre-market highs, 783, and let's see where that matches up on the weekly. Okay, that kind of matches up nicely on the weekly with the resistance here, kind of basis support here. So I think next upside on this is probably going to be around 952, and then I think you're going to get stuck around 11. So 952 is this and this and this and this basis support here, and then you got 11 and potentially up to 1322. I think at that point, it could do it. It squeezed all the way up to 34 recently. Several years ago, so it could do that. But this thing has a tendency to fade its intra-week gains. If you see, weekly gains faded, weekly gains faded, weekly gains after 2 weeks faded. So this is one of those where you ride the short-term momentum up and you're just kind of very smart and fast with your stops. And then you'll, this is not the kind of thing they're going to be holding for like weeks and weeks on end. It's just not that kind of stock. But biotech is super hot right now, so it could have a little bit of a jolt. But yeah, this is, in terms of biotech, it's one of the lower priced ones right now. So, a lot of others had started around the same price range before the coronavirus and have since taken off, 50s, 60s, 70s, 90s, and things like that. So that's what I expect on this one here. So watch for resistance at 783, which is pre-market resistance, and then, watch for the next move up on this one here. Good morning to you, Jeremy. So IBIO, will keep that on the list as potential day trade. Okay, so next one, let's see what else is on the list. IMRN, another health biotech stock. So let's see, where did it start? Pre-market around 10. It's up pretty much 150%, and it's faded some of that. So you have to first mark out that pre-market high to kind of see where things are. And that's almost matching up with the weekly high or the all-time high. So it pretty much, went up to here pre-market session, and it's something's come down. It's not showing on the weekly. So this considering it's had no history, and I don't know if there's any positive news catalyst on it. Let's see, IMRN. Announces $20 million offering. So nothing crazy. Reports IMM used to manufacture Travelan and protect antibiotic against COVID. Okay, so it's got some potential positive news, but it's very speculative. And so it's just kind of like potential, hey, this could be something that has really good news on it. So with that being said, we're not going to give it a whole lot of weight. It's not like it's announced a new deal or it's past a certain trial, certain phase in the trial. This is where it is right now. So I think this is going to be something you want to lean towards a fade. And I think the way to play it, let's look at the 1 hour. Yeah, I mean, if it gets up to here, this might be a pretty darn good short. Just because it is the all-time highs, and you could wait till see if it passes it and then get the false breakdown. But this looks like the kind of thing that you'd want to fade, and you'd have to be very careful on rips because it's not going to sustain a lot of it. It's not even sustaining. I mean, it went up from 10 to 25 and it's already lost $8 pretty much off the highs, or $7 off the highs. So almost 50% of everything that it's gained pre-market is lost. So this thing leaning towards a stock you want to fade on this one here. So I'll leave that out and I'll watch it. Let's see, where would I want to? I'll start watching potential fades around this cluster right here of resistance, 22, 29, 23. That'll be the first. I'll start looking at it. But not something I want to like put a whole lot in getting long, because you got to be in and out super fast. OMI, Owens and Minor, what are you? Medical distributors. Okay, you're in the biotech field. Okay, that's looking pretty decent. That's some pretty decent pre-market. Pre-market, we got a breakout structure building. This thing has been no real rally. Not much of a rally. It's kind of started where it was in the coronavirus. So you got some overhead resistance with this spike high right here, and this spike high right here. So it's got its work cut out for it. Where is it pre-market? It's above that. Okay, it's above 969 pre-market. I said it was a breakout structure, and it just breaks out the next 5 minutes. So now that it's clear of this, price action looks decent because I don't see much until 14. How far do I have to go back? Okay, so clearing through this, you could have some resistance around 1138. It's kind of tricky, this and this base right here, this little spike low. Then it's got some room to make it all the way to 1217 and then high 13s. So this actually isn't a bad stock on price actions. Let's see if there's any news. Owens Minor. See prelim. Okay. So they haven't announced. Okay, so earnings has not come out on it yet. Okay, this is actually a decent stock pre-market. There's a base of support at 911, so I'll put something for there. If it ends up holding above this kind of 9.7, then I'll look for potential long, because it's above this whole weekly base right here and here. And then first target will be 11.38, and then potential, high 13s. But I'd like to see a pullback a little bit towards the base of this kind of support and structure, and possibly it might even trail all the way down to 876. So I'll put an alert on both of those and keep this on the watch list. So we got now 3. What's the pre-market? Okay, volume is not huge on this one here. So this one's going to need to, volume is only 300K. That's below my threshold of about 600K that I'm looking for. So I'm going to put this on the skeptical one right now. I need to see some good volume come in on the open. This one's also low on pre-market volume, so I feel like we should move on from QLGN. This was hot a little bit ago, but yeah, let's move on to that. Let's go see what's going on in Benzinga. Okay, so starting with volume, WKHS, I don't trade that stock. AYRO, this is something that we had gotten involved in not too long ago. Pre-market volume is 1.3 million, and average daily volume is 11.4 million. So about 10% roughly. Let's check AYR and see what's going on. Let's see. Hello to Reddy. Good to see you as well. Okay. It's building a nice wide structure with decent support at 383. And besides 6 resistance, you got kind of this group of spike highs here. 685, you know, this spike high here and this spike high, and then obviously the 814. So it's not exactly an amazing runner. It does have a few pushes, but a lot of it is pre-market. Yeah, a lot of it's pre-market, and it tends to fade a lot of this. So I would start watching for potential fades on AYR once you start getting to 685, and definitely look for one once you get to these double spike highs here around 767 and 816. So we'll set alerts along the way for that one there. I will watch for potential fade. I won't trade a straight breakout, especially since we're not at massive volume right now, and I'm not sure if there's any. Receives initial order for new all-electric mobile food vehicles. Okay, that's interesting. Manufacturer of light-duty urban and short-haul electric vehicles today announced has received 500,000 in orders. That's kind of small. That's not gonna change your business massively, but 500K is, you know, it's decent. Okay. All right, so there's already some positive news. So we'll keep AYR on the watch list. I'm not totally thinking this thing's gonna go gangbusters. I mean, you got 500K in business. You know, if you're trying to be at least a national distributor of some sort, you're gonna need millions. But it's a start. So we'll keep it on the list for right now. Hello, Cena. Good to see you. IFRX, another biotech. So 2.1 million volume right off the bat, pre-market, and average volume is 857. So it's roughly 3 times IFRX. And anything out of there? Nothing on news. So let's check. Okay, biotech. And let's mark some pre-market highs around 7. Okay, so market highs on 7, 694. Yeah, it's decent. If it can clear 7, it's got some room for this move towards 886 and almost up to 10. So around 9 to 10. And then after that, you don't have much till 14. There's no positive news catalyst right now out of it. Pre-market volume is good, but why am I not seeing anything? IFRX. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything pre-market or any sort of positive news catalyst. So, okay. All right, so watch this one. You're going to need to clear 7. You definitely got some resistance. Yeah, you got a lot to work through here. This is going to be a pretty stiff test for it. It sold off pretty heavy from that one there. And then it had to lick its wounds for a few days, weeks actually, since June. Yeah, since the end of May. It's finally built a base. So 515 is 6. It's up about 20% roughly. Pre-market a little over 20%. I'm leaning towards a fade on this one. I think once maybe it clears this and you got a little bit of room to play with, maybe 750, maybe 826. You might get up to 893, but I think after that, it's going to struggle. This is pretty strong resistance. It hasn't gotten past this years. So you're talking only a few hours, maybe a day above, and then it sold it. So this might be a pretty good sell. Short term, I'd want to see more building. I'm not seeing a whole lot. Yeah, it's just a big spike thrust, and that's it. So, okay. Yeah, watch for maybe a pullback towards 5-6 if you wanted to get long. That is, if you look at this kind of base resistance there. So that might be a potential pullback area. So watch for around 5.6 for potential, see what's going on with the time in sales, see what's going on with the price action at that time. I'm not gonna, fawn over this one though. So I'll just kind of move on from it. OPKO Health. Where are we at? 3.2 million pre-market and 14 million average. So about a fifth, 20% already. It looks like it's rolling over a little bit. Pre-market, let's check it out. OPK. Okay, let's start the weekly. Where are we? Pre-market. Pre-market high is 598. And so, not that one. Okay, so pre-market highs is this very strong resistance here. See that right there? And a strong base here. So if it can clear this, then it's got room for about 7, which is this resistance, this support, and this weekly support. So OPKO, OPK, Daily Biotech Pulse. OPK wins CDC contract. Wins CDC contract. What is that about? Okay. Oh, wait, there we go. What is it? It says unit BioReference was awarded a contract to provide commercial surge capacity testing for emergency response to centers. Okay. Stock was up 15% pre-market Tuesday. Okay, so there is some positive news. This isn't like anything gangbusters or anything. It's got a contract surge capacity for testing. So if we see another, if I understand this correctly, if we see another wave of coronavirus coming in and there's a big burst in testing, then they will be providing that. So it's decent positive news. It's not like they've come up with a vaccine, which is going to be the gangbuster news, but it's decent. It is fading a little bit of this. It's already sold off a little bit. So where would a decent basis support? Watch for a potential pullback to 5. You got a little bit of resistance here. You also got the weekly VWAP. So I'll put an alert just above that. Stefano's saying, in terms of percentage, what's a number you consider as, okay, this is a good pre-market volume for the stock, 10 to 15% minimum? Yeah, I look at generally more number of shares. It's a good question. I want to see a minimum of 600,000 shares, ideally a million plus pre-market. If that 600K or million is a small amount in relationship to the overall volume, then I'll reconsider. But yeah, 10 to 15% is not bad. Obviously the more the better. Like when you have something that's 50%, 100%, 300%, those are stocks that are automatically in play. They automatically are because they've already pre-market eclipsed the average daily volume basically. So higher the better, but yeah, probably around 15%, 10-15%. That seems decent. Some minimum, on the very, very low end, 600K, ideally 1 million plus. Like the 600K to 900K, I consider thin on the pre-market volume. If it really is a good stock in play, then it should be attracting a lot of volume pre-market. So, but yeah, I think that's decent to work with. Yeah. So I'm going to watch for a pullback to 5 on this one here, and maybe move for 596, and then so retouch the overnight or the pre-market highs, and then see if we could break that and go for a move to 7. So that's kind of what I'm watching on that one there. IMRN and IBIO, we went over that. Okay, so we've gone over all that. Let's take a look at a couple trades. Stocks I'm in right now. Let's see how DKNG is doing. DKNG is building, so it's pretty much right near yesterday's highs. So it's clearly set a short-term resistance. Yeah. So it's got some resistance between 37 and 38. The important thing was clearing this. This was the sell-off, the bounce off of 3087. We talked about corrector structure. Tried to bounce again, failed at this here. Then probe the lows of 2760, which we said was a really, really good buy point because of this launch here and this resistance here, that was an awesome point. So it's pretty much been a one-way train since the 14th of July, just buying, just being scooped up. This structure right here, now we have a corrective structure, which the base of the corrective structure, in fact, let me do this. So the base of the corrective structure, as you can see, is now the support, it was the resistance of this corrective structure. This is very positive on a price action basis, that, you know, prior resistance is now your floor for the next launch higher. So intraday watch for potential pullbacks here to get long 34.84. You could take profit at the top of this here, but eventually want to look for a breakout here, and that will really bolster DraftKings case again. So DraftKings looking really good. How are we doing on time? 6:27. We got 3 minutes of market open. GDX, that's another one that is very bullish right now. We were already long, and then we added at 38.60, and that has broken out. So we're now way in the money on this one. Just continues to pay us a lot of money. And so I know some of the students are really, really strong on GDX right now. So next resistance on GDX, we have to go to weekly on this one here. Now that we cleared 40.38, we're talking 45. You know, it's got some resistance to chew through here, a little bit here, you know, maybe a little bit there. But after that, then you're talking 44, 45, very, very strong. And if it can clear 45, mid 45s on a weekly basis, then you got 53. I mean, this thing's just got a lot of upside. And you're collecting a dividend on this one. Oh, whopping 0.47%, not much, but just super strong right now. So keep looking for longs on this one here. Watch for dips at this point. Your pullback area now, your major pullback zone is probably, you know, around 39, between 38.96 and 39.41 is potential pullback zone. So we're just going to keep riding this one as long as possible. IEG, another position we bought. Well, I think, where did we bought it? Like 3.9. Now it's 4.72. Thought we bought it right around the break on that. This price action is very nice structure. It's building. Does have some support at 430, 428, but all very positive, and it looks like it wants to, you know, continue higher in this one here. So IAG, it's going to have some resistance at 481. And then after that, if it can clear that, then it should float above the 4.5s for a while. And then 5, 8, and 6 will become resistance. And then after that, you know, we're already going to start taking some profit soon. I think once we clear 4.8, we'll probably take some profit just before 5, start winding a little bit of the position down, and then we'll probably stay taking more profit right around this, you know, high 5s here. Okay, so what else? We have a few others that we're in right now. IMRS, AMD. So the way this works is basically, if you want to look at a particular stock, you pick the stock, the time frame, bias, if you're in a trade, entry, stop loss, take profit, and just a 1-sentence description. So that's how the pre-market watch list, or even when we do our live trading sessions, you have to do instrument, time frame. So otherwise I'm just kind of shooting in the dark. What time frame? I have to go back and forth with you. So let me know what you want. What time frame you want? Are you long or short? Just a 1-sentence description on that one here. I'll look at a few others while you're coming up with that information, because I know there's like a 10-15 second delay here. What else do we have? BJ, we're still long in that. Very, very strong right now. It continues to build. We'll probably add, if it gives us a pullback to 38.40, we'll probably add to a position there. Yeah, 38.36. I already got an alert there basically, but it's just building another breakout structure, you know, so I might add on breakout potentially. But BJ is all-time highs. So at this point, you know, start targeting round numbers. But yeah, we'll probably look for a dip maybe to 38.39. Daily time frame. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? And 1-sentence description, IMRS. Let's see. LCA, that was a stock we bought recently. How's it doing now? Okay. This is a medium-term stock play we have on this one here. This is the company that acquired Golden Nugget Casino Online. So online gambling. I think online gambling is going to really take off. It's not even approved in all 50 states in the US. It's only approved in a handful right now. And once they start to see the tax revenue, I think at that point, then they're going to start to want to do this. So this one's building very nice, has a nice base of support around 12, which if it comes back here, I'll just add some more, but it looks like it wants to break through the 1488 and then start testing the 16, 17 range. So all very positive on this one here. Okay, we got a few minutes. Actually, market's just open. So market's just open. Merce, do you want to give a 1-sentence description? Are you bullish or bearish real quick? Otherwise, I'll just end the session for today. I know maybe it's your first time here, so generally that's how the procedure works. Instrument, time frame, bullish or bearish, 1-sentence description of what you like. What you see in the price section. Okay. I'm not getting anything from you, Emmer. So next time, definitely bring it in for sure. But I'm going to switch over to the members live trading channel. We're going to start sharing our live day trades and what we got going on right now. So markets just opened a minute ago. So good luck trading, everybody. You got a nice watch list here. Good to see Alexander. And so we got a nice watch list: IBIO, IMRN, OMI, AYR, OPK, all very good stocks on the watch list right now. So keep an eye on those. You have your levels. You have your things you're looking for. Make sure that volume is always supporting your price action idea. We don't just trade patterns alone. We also need the volume to support that as well. So that tells us that the movement is there, the stock's in play, that a lot of people got their eyes on it. And that's going to increase the momentum on that particular stock for that day. So it becomes a stock in play and a stock that we want to trade. So with that being said, good luck trading, everyone. And I will see stock trading members in the live trading channel very soon. Take care, everyone. I'll see you next week.